little bit. Made it earlier because today is eclipse, right? Lunar eclipse, and eclipse is, I think, main eclipse is till 9:30. I don't know the exact timing. If anybody knows, because somebody said it's till 9:30, somebody says 9:40, somebody say 11 o'clock. So anybody knows till what time it is?
It says 10:49, complete ending.
So complete, huh?
Yeah, I'll just try. Yeah, I'll put in the group chat the forward timings.
But the main is like 9:30 or like
8, just 1 second. I'll just.
so anyways, we thought like, okay, even if it is 9:30, then we can read Bhagavad Gita by that time. So we changed the timing little bit. Thanks for joining. So today we'll see the verse number 13, and it has reference to the last verse, like the 12th verse. After telling all the details how Krishna is the essence, how he is the essence of everything, and then Krishna tells that the goodness, passion, and ignorance, all moods are his energy, and he's not under their control. Instead, they are under his control. So after explaining this, it means that whatever we see in the material world is becomes the everything is related to Krishna or his energy. So the three modes are also his energies. Then naturally, question will come that if everything is representation of Krishna, essence or essence of everything is Krishna, then why people don't understand that it is Krishna? Otherwise, everybody should understand after reading Bhagavad Gita that okay, essence is Krishna, and then everybody should become devotee or should worship him. So in this verse, Krishna explains why it is not possible, why it does not happen like this. So let us see this verse. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyat Desatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langate Girim Yatrupatamaham Vande Shri Gurun Dinatarine. So let us chant this verse. Tribhir Guna Mayer Bhaver
त्रिभिर्गुणमयैर्भावैः
Ebi Sarvam Idam Jagat
एभिः सर्वम् इदं जगत्
Mohitam Nabhijanati
मोहितं नाभिजानाति
Mamebhya Param Avyayam.
मामेभ्यः परमव्ययम्
Tribhir Guna Mayer Bhaver
त्रिभिर्गुणमयैर्भावैः
Ebi Sarvam Idam Jagat
एभिः सर्वम् इदं जगत्
Mohitam Vijanati
Gitam na bijanati.
Mamebhya Paramavyayam.
Mamebhya paramavyayam.
Okay, so please chant.
Tribir gunamayir bhavait. Ebi sarvam idam jagat. Mogitam na bijanati. Mamebhya paramavyayam.
त्रिभिर्गुणमयैर् भावैर् एवि सर्वम् इदं जगत् मोहितं नाभिजानाति माम् एव्यं परम् अव्ययम्.
Okay, so let us see translation and purport. Deluded by the three modes, goodness, passion, and ignorance, the whole world does not know me, who am above the modes and inexhaustible. Purport. The whole world is enchanted by the three modes of material nature. Those who are bewildered by these three modes cannot understand that transcendental to this material nature is the Supreme Lord Krishna. Every living entity under the influence of material nature has a particular type of body and a particular type of psychological and biological activities accordingly. There are four classes of men functioning in the three modes of nature. Those who are purely in the mode of goodness are called Brahman. Those who are purely in the mode of passion are called Kshatriyas. Those who are in the mode of both passion and ignorance are called Vaishyas. Those who are completely in ignorance are called Shudras, and those who are less than that are animals or animal life. However, these designations are not permanent. I may be either Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, or whatever. In any case, this life is temporary. But although life is temporary and we do not know what we are going to be in the next life, by the spell of this illusionary energy, we consider ourselves in terms of bodily conception of life. And thus we think that we are American, Indian, Russian, or Brahman, Hindu, Muslim, etc. And if we become entangled with the modes of material nature, then we forget the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is behind all these modes. Also, Lord Krishna says that living entities deluded by these three modes of nature do not understand that behind the material background is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There are many different kinds of living entities, human being, demigod, animals, etc. And each and every one of them is under the influence of material nature. All of them have forgotten the transcendental personality of Godhead. Those who are in the mode of passion and ignorance, or even those who are in the mode of goodness, cannot go beyond impersonal Brahman conception of absolute truth. They are bewildered before the Supreme Lord in his personal feature, which possesses all beauty, opulence, knowledge, strength, fame, and renunciation. Even when those who are in goodness cannot understand what is the hope there for those in passion and ignorance. Krishna consciousness is transcendental to all these three modes of material nature. And those who are truly established in Krishna consciousness are actually liberated. So Krishna is giving why everybody don't understand Krishna. If he is the essence of everything and he has explained it, why people don't surrender unto him or don't recognize him. So we see in Mahabharata also, when Krishna himself was there, then also there were Kauravs side, there were many Kshatriyas who didn't understand who is Krishna, who really is Krishna. Right, so we can take example of Duryodhan or Dushasan. Even if they saw Krishna doing, or even Kamsa also, when Krishna as a child started killing the demons, Kamsa should have recognized or even understood that Krishna is not a normal kid. He's something different. But even if some of his close ones tell him Krishna is, or even demons told him that Krishna is not ordinary person, but still Kamsa didn't believe it. Similarly, Duryodhan, when Krishna went as a peace for peace between Kaurav and Pandav, as a Shanti Dut or messenger of peace, Duryodhan tried to bind Krishna because he proposed that give 5 cities to Pandav and then they will not fight. But Duryodhan was angry that I will not give an inch of land to Pandav. So he also threatened Krishna that if you don't agree, then I will not allow you to go back. Will arrest you. So Krishna at that time showed his partial expansion in universal form. But Duryodhan didn't understand. Only that time Vidura and Bhishma, they understood Krishna, but others didn't understand Krishna. So even when he killed 100 offense, not Jarasandha. I forgot the name. Krishna waited for him to complete the 100 sins or offenses. And then he killed him in front of everyone by his disc. But still, there were people who didn't believe Krishna to be supreme, or he is beyond these modes. So it's nothing new. I mean, we also see we have the Leela of Brahma Mivavan Leela or Indra's Leela in Govardhan Leela. We see that the goodness, the demigod, Devatas are in goodness, Brahma and Indra, they are in goodness, but still they were bewildered. So in case of Shiva also, when the churning of the ocean happened, Samudra Manthan, then and the Mohini Murti came, everybody was bewildered. So Rakshas were also bewildered, who are in mode of passion and ignorance. Devatas were also bewildered. Everybody was bewildered. And after the nectar was distributed, then after that Lord Shiva was also bewildered by the beauty. So in any mode of nature, Shishupal, yeah, so Krishna killed Shishupal, right, by the disc, but still in front of everyone he killed, but still nobody understood him. So Devatas more in mode of goodness, Rakshasas in mode of passion and ignorance, they all didn't understand Krishna. So uh, even Krishna himself was there, but still people cannot recognize him. Then what to speak of people when Krishna is not here and we have to just depend on our faith and trust that okay, what I am reading in Bhagavad Gita is correct and I have faith. It's very difficult for normal person to believe. So Krishna tells here, Mohitam nami janati. So Mohitam, they are bewildered. They are deluded or they are bewildered by what? By these three modes. So goodness, devatas, rakshasas in passion and ignorance. They also got bewildered. So similarly, the people now, the common people, they are also bewildered. How we are bewildered? So we have different bodies. We are conditioned by the bodies. So like I have Indian body. So my mind thinks like an Indian, right? So even if I am living in Japan, I try to live life like I live in India. But that's not practical. But I'm so much conditioned to my Indian living and Indian habits, it's difficult for me to change. Similarly, a Japanese person going to any other country, he will try to live like a Japanese or Japan because they are conditioned to it. So we are also conditioned to it. So that's the easiest way to understand how we are conditioned. So even if we live in Japan, we eat Indian food because we are conditioned to that. So our body needs that. If that is not there, then we cannot function properly. We feel something incomplete. Why? Because we are conditioned to the Indian culture, Indian nature, Indian body, Indian way of thinking. So we cannot go beyond it. It's very difficult for us to go beyond this process, thought process. So even if we are in mode of goodness, so if I am body in, I have body of Indian and I am staying in Japan. So if I am in mode of goodness, I have knowledge that where I am living. So I try to adjust myself to the conditions here. Uh, So I try to change my diet. I try to can maintain my physique like say the land where I am living. So I try to do that in mode of goodness to change myself, my way of thinking. But it is a challenging task for me. Then I will be completely engaged in this activity to be like a Japanese person because I'm living in Japan. So similarly, if somebody goes from Japan to say India or other country, if that person tries to live like that local people, he will be caught up in that process of changing that he will not think of anything else. And so that is in mode of goodness. So even after knowledge, we get bewildered. What is bewildered or deluded means we get engaged in that. So we get distracted from the real purpose. So it does not matter if I am in which body or where I am staying. If my aim is to do the self-realization, then the place does not matter, right? So that is actually the knowledge. But I am bewildered by the goodness that I want to align, and what to speak out about passion and ignorance. So in Indian body, I will do passionate activities like I do in India, in Japan, and then I may suffer if I do some activities in ignorance of these local laws. So then also I get bewildered. So in one way, in mode of goodness, we try to control senses and have knowledge. In the mode of passion, we enjoy the results. We do the activities and we enjoy the results, and that way we become engaged in that process. And in ignorance, what happens? Lamentation of our miseries or lamentation of our situation, too much lamentation of our situation is actually mode of ignorance. So we are not able to come out of that lamentation phase, or we are not able to come out of the enjoying phase. Uh, and if we come out of that, then we caught up in the knowledge. So in mode of goodness, passion and ignorance, we are just caught up in all these activities. So Krishna says mohitam. So they get uh, we get deluded, bewildered by these three modes, and then we don't understand him. Na bhijanati. So Krishna is telling clearly, Mam evya param avyayam. So he's saying, I am param, I am supreme, or I am transcendental. And avyayam, it's opposite of vyayam. Vyayam means who has limit, time limit. So he's avyayam, he don't have any time limit. He's eternal. So he's telling very clearly who he is. But still, because we are in the modes and we are caught up in that, we don't try to understand what is beyond this. So this way, Krishna is telling the reason why, even if he tells all the details in Bhagavad Gita and other Shastra, it's difficult for people to understand or approach Krishna. So that is our situation. So that's why Arjuna, it's like that, not that everybody, all the people will know me as the Supreme Lord. They will not know because they are so much caught up in their three modes, activities in the three modes. And here Krishna is using the word Sarvam Idam Jagat. So this whole universe, this whole world, he's not only saying about the um, intelligent people or human beings. No, all the world is bewildered in these three modes, and that is how it controls. So generally, we are little bit confused. What exactly are these modes? What exactly is happening? Why we? How to understand this? So the process is the easiest process to understand is if we are going taking knowledge and be feeling peaceful and controlling the mind, we are goodness, activities in goodness. If we are enjoying the results, we are in passion. If we are lamenting too much, we are in ignorance. So we can see throughout our day or throughout our life, we are already doing one of these activities and we get catch up in that. So because of this, we get bewildered. So now the question will come, okay, so if everybody, sarvam idam jagat, so if all the jagat, all the universe is getting bewildered, mohitam, deluded by this, these three modes, and these three modes are very powerful. Okay, so why these modes are so powerful that they bewilder in living in beings who have intelligence, who have consciousness? Why it should bewilder us? And okay, what is the scope or what is the option to get out of these three modes and understand the reality? So that will be the natural next question. So Krishna explains the answer to this question in the next verse. Okay, so that we will see tomorrow. So just to go about details, I think we have the timings, right? So maximum view is, sorry. So it says 6:30 to 10:49 is the, no, maximum is at 8:18. Okay, so the maximum time has already gone and now it is reducing and it ends around 10:45. So it's almost 1 hour now from now. There just to share, there is one in Bhagavatam 8th canto. There is story about this churning of ocean, and when the nectar comes up, then everybody wants that nectar, right? So demons also want, and devatas also want. And when the pot of nectar comes out, the demons being more powerful at that time, they take that pot. And then the situation comes like, okay, the demons will have the nectar and then they will become immortal. Then devatas approach Vishnu, uh, Krishna, that please save us, do something so that this does not happen, because if the demons rule all over the world, then it will be just passion and ignorance. Okay, then Krishna comes in the avatar of Mohini Murti in the female form, and the beauty of that form is so beautiful that everybody gets captivated and everybody agrees. Okay, whatever this lady will say, we all will agree. So demons also agree, devatas also agree. So then she says, okay, everybody sit down, the demons sit together, devatas sit together. And she talks very fluently and very attractively with the demons and pacifies them that, okay, I will give the maximum quantity of the nectar to you. But let me satisfy the devatas first, little bit. But I will be always do activity which is more beneficial for you. And the demons agree in the mode of ignorance. But Rahu was there. The demon, one of the demon was Rahu, and he somehow felt that there is something different is there in this, and the nectar will not come. So Rahu disguised himself and sits between Chandra and Surya in the Devta's line to receive the nectar. So when Mohini Murti, so as Mohini Murti avatar, Krishna understands what is happening, but she don't show it. And but Chandra and Surya, because they are sitting next to Rahu, they understand that, okay, this is not Devta, and this is some demon. So when the nectar was being distributed, and Rahu gets the nectar, and he is about to drink, then Chandra and Surya, they tell Mohini Murti that, oh, this is actually demon, and you are given the nectar to the demon. So then immediately by Sudarshan Chakra, they cut the throat. So the nectar didn't go down. So nectar remains till the neck. Some nectar goes, I think, down. So that's why Rahu is without body and Ketu is without head. And that's why because now they have taken the nectar, they cannot die. Okay, so Rahu is there. Rahu has to leave. So Brahma has to give them position as one of the planets in the system. And because they are demonic, when the Rahu is so in our chart also we see Rahu, right? Sometimes Rahu comes in our chart. When the Rahu comes, then everybody says that, oh, this is your testing time. You become so passionate and so attacking. Uh, so Rahu became a one planet, and this eclipse is said when this Rahu, because Surya and Chandra, they disclosed him to be a demon, and his throat has to be cut. He became enemy, and then he tries to cover up uh, moon and sun. And when he tries to cover up moon and sun, that is the time when the eclipse happens. So that's why at that time the effect of the Rahu is more stronger. And then that's why during the eclipse time, it is suggested that we should read Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam, or we should do Japa. In India, everybody goes to temple uh, after the Grahan time is finished. And during this time, we don't eat generally. We don't keep our food open because of the negative energy that is coming up. So we try to protect ourselves by taking shelter of the Lord. So there are evidences why in eclipse we should not eat, uh, we should avoid certain things. So it's also a question of faith or belief that, okay, whatever told in Shastra, I will follow. So I just thought of sharing this pastime in Bhagavatam. Anybody knows any other pastimes? Please share. It's always good to know more. Hare Krishna. So anybody has any comments or any additions? Today we took little bit extra time, but I think it's good in Grahan time to discuss the Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I have some question regarding eclipse. Is it okay to ask?
Yeah. If I know.
Yeah, I just wanted to know if is it compulsion like to at this time not to eat or prepare any food or something like that?
Yes, as far as I remember, when in the old times means not much older, 15 to 20 years back, it was very strict. Like when our parents or our grandparents were in control, it was very strict, right? When the Grahan time happens, they will not eat anything, they will not keep the food open, nothing they will do. But with the time, I think the rules and regulations are getting reduced, and eclipse rather being a phenomena of some uh, like Rahu covering or something, now it becomes a point of interest. So everybody wants to take the photo and everybody want to see the Grahan. So it's the time is changing. So the rules are being modified. So sometimes it's difficult, right, to don't drink, eat, or drink water. Sometimes it becomes difficult. But at least, yeah, of course, for devotees, if we are surrendered, then these things does not make any impact because of the influence of Mohini Murti killed Rahu, right? So if we are in shelter of Krishna, then these things does not matter. But as a custom, yeah, I think in India still it is followed. Here we will not see, like I see people eating also outside, so they take it as they don't know this, so it's not compulsory. It's whatever maximum we can do, we do.
Yes, actually, before marriage, even I was following because my family used to follow.
Right.
But after marriage, many times it happens that I don't know only. And with family, it's little, I feel like it's practically a little difficult for me to follow this. So that's why I asked this question. Is there like any bad impact or something like that?
No, nothing impact as such. It's a bad. It's of course it's not a good activity. That's why. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also was born on the day of eclipse, right? So there is also pastime of on eclipse when Radharani and Krishna meet in Kurukshetra after a long time, right? So
Yes, yes.
auspicious pastimes are also there in the eclipse. So yeah, but I think now if we say now the time is like the main course, like all the full coverage, whatever it is, it's gone. Now it's like 1 hour remaining, right? So it's now very mild. It's like reducing. So I think it's okay. And sometimes if the eclipse is now it's 4 o'clock, sorry, 4 hours. Sometimes it is just 1 hour. That time it is okay. But if eclipse is 6 hours, 7 hours, it becomes difficult, right? So it's practically, if we are chanting and we are trying to surrender, even if we are not completely surrender, if we are in process, at least we are in shelter. So does not make bad effect. We should not fear about that. That's
Okay, thank you, Prabhuji.
no problem.
Yes, Hare Krishna.
How everybody follows here in Japan depends. Okay, any other comments or questions or any other rules anybody knows specific to this Grahan or anything, then please share.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, I think my husband wants to say something.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, Prabhuji, I want to say that actually these Rahu and Ketus are past karma planet associated with past karmas.
Mm-hmm.
So actually, it doesn't affect all whole population,
Mm-hmm.
but actually it depends on individual horoscopes,
Right.
depending on karma.
Mm.
So these planets are maybe just grants, maybe good for some people and maybe bad for some people, depending on their individual karmas. So when you say that certain auspicious thing has also happened in eclipse, and there are many bad things also happening in eclipse. So actually, it is depending on individual karmas.
Right.
So this may be depending on the chart and horoscope. It depends who has good karma and who has bad karma. So the results will be different for different individuals. That is actually, that's why actually Vishnuji made these two and allowed them to survive, because of they want to give results based on karma. So Rahu and Ketu are very important in, I mean, for the whole karma philosophy. So it may be not bad for everyone.
Right.
There are things with it may be good for, actually good. Some eclipses are good for some people. depending on situation. Anyways, that's
That's true. Actually, that's very useful, right? So,
mm,
like in the pastime of this Krishna meeting the Brajavasis,
mhm.
if we read that, we can understand that somewhere happy, somewhere not happy.
Yes, yes.
So it depends in which
Yeah.
position you are
Mm.
based on that.
Yeah, if like the birth chart is strong, then even sometimes Rahu is also good in that situation, depending on karma. It depends on the individuals, basically.
Yeah, what my experience of Rahu is like, okay, Rahu, you become very attacking and very passionate, but the results will come. Like it takes time, but the results come actually. That's what my experience was. That I see people with Rahu, they change suddenly, but they get
Mm,
results what they want if they work like Rahu.
mhm,
Well,
Yeah, about this eating, drinking, sleeping. I think it's these rules more about like if you practice more spiritual things like adhyatma during this time, it's one of the reason to meditate on God, so that you don't spend time on eating, sleeping, or drinking, whatever. So I feel that is one more reason people can devote more to the God during this time.
yes,
And
yeah, maybe.
another thing I feel like sometimes there are some rules, right? This time is not good. We follow cleanliness and some good habits. So if the shastra says like this time is not good for eating, drinking, then why not to do that?
Yeah, of course,
That's
it's not
I
like
think
4
common
months.
sense.
It's 4 hours, right? We can, of course, follow this for 4 hours. If we are doubtful, it's better to follow rather than being doubtful and worrying and anxiety. It's better to follow 4 hours and be safe, peace of mind.
There, I feel if we research some more, there must be some scientific reason also why, because maybe atmosphere or air is polluted, or there must be some scientific reasons for our bodily health, good health. Like we have scientific reasons for Ekadashi, 11th day of fasting. So if we research more, we can find some
Maybe,
scientific reasons.
maybe. Any other points?
no, no.
This is debatable. Everything is debatable and relative. So, anybody has any other insights of these clips? I was checking on YouTube. There are so many live channels where they are broadcasting this from different parts of the world with different telescopes and everything. So it's a point of interest also for everyone. Anyways, okay. So thank you very much for your time and details. So based on our own judgment and faith, let's try to do what is best. Hare Krishna, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So we'll see the next person.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
so much.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for sharing a lot of things. Thank you for sharing about Bhagavatam and little improve. I mean, how to say, ignorance is removed by hearing this. Thank you so much, Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.